Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to help you guys out with WWE Supercard and those free-to-play tips to help you build a stronger deck. This is mainly going to be aimed at beginners, but if you're just one of those casual players trying to climb the ranks, hopefully this can help you guys out as well. Advancing through the tiers is all about having cards that are pros, which are duplicate cards combined together to make a more powerful version of that card. So our main focus is getting those top tier cards, and one of the best places to start is King of the Ring. Always have this running. There's no guarantee that you're going to win it, but it's one of those things that sits there in the background, does its own thing. You've just got to make sure that you always come back, double check. After each game you will lose energy, so you refill that. You do get energy from the draft board, so it's a nice easy way to get those cards if you do win. There's nothing like passive prizes to make you feel good about playing any game. The next thing I want to take a quick look at is Survivor. A lot of newer players don't like this mode because it can be kind of hard to explain and it seems like everything's always working against you. I will bring out a separate video that talks about this one specifically and how to do better in that mode. But you can win some great prizes and really progress a lot faster, especially if you win. You get those top tier cards really easily. You'll have plenty of tokens to be able to play this mode. Every 4 hours you get free ones in the gift packs, so make sure you're using them. They're a really great way to progress really quickly in this game. Now we go on to Money in the Bank. What this is going to do is allow you to get those all-important super coins. Okay, these coins, we'll touch on them a little bit later in the video. I want to explain what they can be used for, but you get 5 free bouts and then each bout will recharge every hour. You can get up to 50 coins per game, so 250 coins if you play those 5 bouts. They will all add up as you get closer towards those goals of some of the better cards that you can buy with those coins. And as you get closer to the next tier, you want to be saving them up, because that way you'll be able to start with some really good cards. Next thing we'll touch on is the Fusion Chamber. This is where you can sacrifice some of the cards that you don't use anymore, and you can make much better cards out of them. Starting from the lower tiers, and you work your way up through the tiers up until the top tier available, which will net you a pretty decent card. You also sometimes get these limited events where you might have certain ingredients that you can add there. These ones you get a chance for some of the really powerful cards in the game, so always good to do them if you can. Now when you're trying to train up your cards, sometimes you'll have multiple cards that you're trying to do at once. The Performance Center is a great way to get those done. So not only just to level them up to level 100, but also to get those matches up to 100 as well, which can be a little bit more of a grind at times. In the later stages of the game, I find the in-ring conditioning to get your matches up to be really useful, because you can use that in conjunction with the matches as well, because it starts to work away in the background while you're offline, so that way, you know, when you go to sleep, it's 8 hours closer to that goal, which is around about 8 matches overnight. And then every match that you use that card in, it will reduce your timer by around about 1 hour, so you can kind of gauge how close you are to finishing that card off. And I'll also show you the match types that I find are most useful in building those cards up in conjunction with the Performance Center. I just want to take a quick look at the draft board though. When you first start out, this is a great way to start building up that collection of cards. You're pulling all kinds of things, whether it's support cards, superstars, male and female. And when you get the biggest card possible out of that group of 25, it'll restart the board. You get another set of picks. And you do have a chance, so for whatever your top tier is, there is a percentage chance that you will get a card of that tier, and you'll know when you get it because the screen goes all shiny and all kinds of things happen and the card looks really special. Make sure you always keep that card because it's really going to help you out. One thing you can do with all the cards that you don't need, because you're going to have a lot of lower tier cards, you hit that select all button at the top there. Just make sure that you lock any cards you want to keep, turn them to dust. You'll see down the bottom there. When that meter fills up, you'll go to an exclusive draft board with 15 cards on it, and you can pick a card off that, with the best card on that board being the top tier prize as well. So you've got a lot better chance, and you can do it a lot more regularly. Just make sure you keep dusting those cards and take advantage of those freebies that you're going to get along the way. Now we're going to have a look at some of the game modes. The first one being Wild, which is one that you can just play non-stop as long as you want. If you just want to keep grinding away at this game, you're more than welcome to do it. You'll see on the right of the win-loss streak, you'll see the symbol of the tier that people are on. You have the choice of going for someone much lower than you, just to try and ensure that you get those wins. The big advantage to this mode is the games are really fast, and you get 4 male, 2 female cards that you can put in the deck. So if you've got a few of your top tier cards that you're trying to train up, you can put them all in together, and they all tend to get a go. And you can get through those 100 matches so much faster that way. That's the way that I build my decks. I don't really care as much about the win-loss streak in this mode. You'll see some people stack it with the best cards they possibly can, whereas I try and train my cards up, get them to those 100 matches, then I sub them out for the next card. So that way, if I do get a duplicate of those cards, it's so much faster to turn those cards into pros. You don't get a lot of draft picks from this mode, but it's still a very fast mode to play, so they will build up rather quickly if you do want to grind that draft board a little bit as well. Most players like their win-loss streak to look really good, especially since it displays it so clearly in this mode, but it really doesn't make any difference. There's no advantage in this mode. It doesn't get you anything for wins and losses, except maybe a few little achievements along the way on your dailies and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't worry too much about it. I just think it's a really great way to train cards up. So much faster to do, especially if you've only got a limited time every day that you can play. It's a really good way to grind the game out. The next mode that we're going to take a look at is the PvP. Now this is one, a lot of people might think that if you're going to do PvP, you need to have the best cards, otherwise you can't win. It's going to be pay to play. It really isn't. It really comes down to how long you play. The more time you can put into this, the higher you're going to climb up those ranks really quickly. And it's not that hard for free-to-play players to win the main prize at the end of the week, which can be up to 2,000 super coins. Depending on which leaderboard level you're up to, when you get up to the top tier, you can get so much more out of it. There are a few different games, male and female, depending on what you might like to play. But the main reason that you want to grind this out as much as possible is for the all-important momentum meter. The more of those tiers that you can unlock, you can put more cards in there to get boosts to your stats overall. So you put your best cards in there, they're going to be even better for all of those other game modes that you really need your top cards for. My preferred game is Elimination Chamber because it does go pretty quickly. I can get all of these cards in there that I want to train up to the 100 matches. You'll see those little green bars. That's how many matches they've played. It's a great way to train them up because sometimes I can have 2, 3, maybe 4 matches within the same game. So you can train some of those cards up really quickly with that method. And like I said before, trying to get pro cards is very important in this game. So if you've already got them done at level 100 with their 100 matches, if you get that duplicate, it's so much faster to advance them into that pro card. Now I just want to have a little bit of a talk about some of the currencies that you get. You've got both credits and super coins. As a free-to-play player, save your credits. Do not be tempted by some of these packs. Even though you may think that, oh yeah, look, there's Bret Hart, that's one of the best packs that you can get. You buy that, I can guarantee that you're going to get a low tier card. You're not going to feel good about it. All of those credits that you earn through the different events and different prize packs, make sure you save them like I do for some of the events that come up, because that's where you're going to be able to take advantage of it and put those credits to the best use. You can buy these packs if you want, but I can guarantee that you're going to feel a little disappointed when you don't get the result that you want. Save the credits for some of those events where you need to rank to get the prize, because that way other people that are spending real money to get those cards, you don't have to spend anything and you can still get there. Now the super coins are something else that you earn during the game, and it can be a really great thing to have. You can see the top two cards here. They're both pretty similar in regards to power. What I will do, I don't buy them for 22,500 coins each. I save up 45,000, so that way when the new tier starts, I can get two of the same card, whichever one I like more. In this case it was Roman Reigns, and that way I can make a pro out of that card, and that way you've got a really strong card at the start of the tier, and you don't have to grind as much at the start of the tier to start climbing the ranks again. There are plenty of other packs there that you can buy, although these are the ones that I will recommend. You're free to buy whatever you like, they're your coins, but if you want to climb the ranks quickly, save them up, 45,000 coins, buy two of the same card, make it a pro, and you're going to feel really good about the way that you spent those coins, guaranteed. Now in order to make a pro, you can see here I've got two of the event John Cena's here. What you're going to do, first of all, make sure they're unlocked and out of all of the decks, but they're both at level 100, both trained up to 100 matches. So once I clear these here, I'll be able to join them together. So we'll take that first one, you'll see combine in the middle there, just tap that. It'll ask you if you want to combine them, make sure that you know what's going on. Hit yes. You can pick which of the stats you prefer to keep. There are different abilities for each card. Might throw reversal on this one because I know that really annoys me when I see people do that to me, so I want to do that to someone else for a change. Alright, another daily achievement done. You see the animation that comes up when you pro a card as well. You can pro a card at level 0 without any matches if you want to, but it won't be a very powerful card and it won't train up to be as strong as one that you've actually done properly. So make sure you do it this way for the best result. Now we'll just put a few cards into this and we'll train him up, see what he looks like. And here we go. Nice, look at the stats on that one. Pretty good card. Not the best that I've got, but it's definitely up there amongst them. And it's going to serve me well. Even when the new tier comes around, these cards are always going to be good for the start of that tier. It's not until you kind of get a couple of weeks in when all of the new events come out and some of the cards out there are a lot better. But these will keep you going for quite a while. You can see even the gear that I've got on him here. You know, that's an extra 2 million power that I can add to him just from the gear. So make sure you're always looking at what gear you're putting on different stars as well. Every now and then I'll just detach it from everybody and then redo my whole roster and find out which cards are better and not have good gear lingering on cards that I'm not even using anymore. Just a couple of things to finish off with. Make sure you find yourself a good active team that you can be part of, because these team events can net you a lot of super coins, can get you some of those top tier cards. They don't always pay out the top tier cards, but you do get a lot of good ones that you can either use in the fusions to train up other cards faster, and of course get those top tier cards. They're going to help you grow and get dominating on those tables. Now you also have your daily tasks. Make sure you complete all of these. They're relatively easy to do. Most of the time you'll achieve them without even really trying, but completing all of these, collecting these tickets can lead to some really important prize packs that can net you some really cool stuff and get you up to those tiers really fast. On Wednesdays you'll also get these quests that show up. Complete them for some extra prizes, but when you have a look at the ticket store at the end, which is why we're saving these up, I like to save them up for when I get to the next tier, because that top prize pack there that has 100 tickets to buy them, these have a lot of really cool stuff in it, including those top tier cards, has gear, enhancements, all kinds of different things, and you get a lot in these packs as well. It's not just one card and away you go. There's a whole heap of stuff that it will give you that can come in really handy, and you can save up 500 tickets, and when that new tier drops, as soon as you are able to enter that tier, jump into the ticket store, spend those tickets, grab those packs. There are some other ones below that you can use, but they don't really get you much. I wouldn't worry about using them, just get that top tier pack. But before we wrap things up, I just want to touch on the events that will show up. You get 2 events per week. One is a 4-day solo event, then a 1-day team event to get some pretty cool prizes. The solo one nets you a really powerful card if you can get to the end of the tier. Road to Glory can be a real grind. This is one of the places where I will use some credits just to try and boost my points up and get up there quickly. But you get these cards that can really set you up to that top end of the tier. You normally get 2 cracks at it with different events, so you can easily pro the card as a free-to-play player. You don't have to spend all your credits just trying to do it all in the one 4-day event. So don't get frustrated with it. Have fun with the game. Don't worry about all the big shiny cards that other players might have that they've spent thousands of dollars on. You don't need to do that in this game. Hopefully you found these tips really helpful. If you have, don't forget, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe for some really great content coming your way, including my WWE 2K22 videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.